everybody. Good morning. I have to tell you I am very happy there is not a snowstorm going on right now, because as we were watching the weather report, I said the one day of snow we're going to get is the day we're doing an event, of course. So I was very happy to wake up and see the green grass. But first things first is, how many today had to travel to come here? You had to go a little bit of a distance, right? Okay, most of the room, sure. You guys went a long distance. I want to take a second and share Anna Ciano-Hendricks, our panelist here. Anna, if you would you please share everybody your travel day yesterday to be here today?
Before Anna starts, everyone say hi, Anna.
Hi, everyone. Could we do better than that, though?
Everyone again. There
All right,
we go.
a little bit. Good energy, good energy. So yeah, the day started about 7 a.m. Drove up to Cleveland Airport. Didn't get a text till right when I was there that my flight was delayed. So hung out in Cleveland for a couple hours and then got another message that flight was canceled. So I'm like, oh no, I am going to be there. So flew in to Cleveland to Washington, LaGuardia, and had a great driver last night, all with my dog. I brought my dog. I'm the crazy dog mom.
I was going to say, let's give Anna a round of applause. She ended up in Washington, D.C. to get here. So everybody who said, Carl, I had to drive 25 minutes to get here, I really had no sympathy for you today after hearing about Anna's. I said, Anna, if you can't make it, it's okay. We'll find a replacement. She's like, I will be there. And she got in at 1 a.m. So again, just give Anna another round of applause. Well, and I just thought it was ironic, too, because as a top producing team leader, and I've known Anna a long time and all the stuff she's done, there's no surprise that she was that committed to fulfill an obligation that she said she was going to do, that she did everything she did yesterday to get here. And I think that's a common trait I see with a lot of top producers. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. So, Anna, thank you for being here. Next, I would like to introduce to you in the middle. Some of you might know who this gentleman is. He was on our original top agent panel about 5 or 6 years ago at the Pines Manor. He's a good friend of Olivier and mine. He's with Remax Select in North Jersey. His name is Thomas Chopper Russo, and he's the team leader of the Russo group.
Everyone say hi, Chopper.
So we're going to unpack a little bit about his team, but I've been blessed enough to watch his growth over the last 8 years being his friend, from where his team started to where his team is now. And I'm excited for him to share that journey, because he's come a long way and it's through a lot of hard work, dedication, and really caring about his clients. And our last panelist, somebody else. If you've been to one of our previous panels, she does work with Pocket Pete. Is anyone here familiar who Pocket Pete is? If you know who Pocket Pete is, give it a round of applause. So share a little bit about Nicole. She's a solo agent, which I was happy to have a solo agent on the panel. She's been in the business for about 4 to 5 years. She services all of Long Island. And if you follow her on social, she's got a tremendous presence, and she's a tremendous agent. So I'm excited to share. So one more final applause for our panelists before we start getting into the questions.
And let's give a huge hi, Nicole. Thank you.
So let's start. Anna, we're going to start with you. Will you share with everybody sort of your background, your story? How did you get into real estate? What does your career look like? And how you kind of ended up here today?
I wrote notes because I'm a talker, so I don't want to be like taken off stage. I talk too much to keep on track. So I'm Anna. I'm a Cancer. I like long walks on the beach. I'm kidding. Oh, gosh, you guys are a tough crowd. Okay, I'll stick away. No humor then. All right. No, I started off with working in educational sales for proprietary education. And I wanted to sell my own home, and I was that client. And I was like, I am not paying a real estate agent. It's cheaper for me to go get my license than to pay you 6%. And that's how I started. So believe it or not, I did not think I was going to be a real estate agent at all. I had no desire to be a broker at all. And here I am 14 years later. And I love it. It's in my blood. So I started part-time, just doing it for friends and family and investing. I love to flip and do investments. And then I started working full-time. and then I started a team. And then in 19, I end up quitting. Well, probably about 16, 15, 16, but I've quit the corporate world. And then in 19, bought a brokerage. And then in 20, I think, or 21, bought my second location.
Hi, everybody. Chopper Russo. I was a furniture manufacturer. I did French provincial furniture. My grandfather had started in 1921. Made the real ornate stuff. We had a factory in Union City, one in Sicily, and also in Shanghai. Everything kind of imploded around 2006 or 7 in our industry. So we had always had apartment buildings, warehouses, factories, and parking lots. So it was easy for me to get into it. And like Carl likes for me to say, I finally got legal in 2008. Being from Hudson County, we do things a little differently over there. So allegedly, and you know, okay. And then it was just an easy segue. I was getting divorced, and I let my brother keep the business. And I just got into real estate, and haven't looked back. I decided to go full time May of 2010, and then we started our team.
Hi, I'm Nicole Schwartz from Long Island. I worked in the solar industry. I started in sales. I ended up actually switching over into operations. I had my license for 2 years. I didn't do anything with it. I was working in content. And then my best friend asked me to help her buy a home. I did. I loved that process. I saw the potential and I said, what am I doing? So I literally just quit my job and took a chance on myself. I told myself that if I could not replace my annual salary in that first year, that I would go back to corporate America. And I almost tripled it in the first year. I have never looked back since. In my second year, I bought into the brokerage with Pocket Pete. We are partners in one of our locations. And here I am. This is my going into my 5th year as a full-time agent and not a team.
Great. Thank you. So we're going to ask a question. It's great hearing your stories. Would you do it over again? You want to start, Nicole?
Sure. I would absolutely do it over again. And I probably wouldn't change any of the process except for being with RE/MAX sooner. And I was telling Carl and the other panelists over dinner last night, in my market, RE/MAX really isn't that big. Like when Pete approached me, I was working for Douglas Elliman, and Pete and I were doing a deal together. So he was trying to poach me, and I'm like, who the hell works for RE/MAX? Like, it's just not that big near us. But I took a leap of faith and I joined in October, and Pete's like, you gotta go to R4. You have to go to R4. You have to go to Vegas. And I've been to Vegas every year since, and I fell in love with the brand. So I would do it all over again. I would just join RE/MAX sooner.
Would I do it all over again? I mean, listen, the first year that I got into this, I made more money than in my 20-something years manufacturing furniture, you know. But I think I wouldn't have done as well as I have if it wasn't for all the experiences. You know, we had all the apartment buildings and things like that. And, you know, I sold throughout the country furniture. In hindsight, yeah, nobody has a crystal ball. I think I was fortunate enough because all the experience I brought from that other industry, I applied to here, you know. Would I do it again? I don't know. I had a minor in real estate, and I guess I can't regret it. You can't go back, you know. I'm happy where I'm at now.
I'm not going to say it depends on the day, but no, I would. In all seriousness, definitely all over again, every single day. Real estate really has given not only myself, but my family and our family to use that platform to be able to give back and serve. And that's really huge for us. So all day long, I would never in my wildest dreams could do the things I do with real estate. So yes, so hang in there. Trust me, there's certain days I'm like, I'm just gonna go sell ice cream at the beach. I mean, who gets mad about ice cream, right? But every day, yes, for sure, I would do it over and over again.
So Anna, if you don't mind sharing with everybody a little bit about how when you had your team, what it looked like, the structure, but also tell us a little bit about your average sale price, what your volume was. We want everyone in the audience to kind of know what your market's like, what challenges you had in that market, and sort of how your business looks.
So when I started my team, it was just me. And I started off, I was talking to Nicole about earlier, just hire. I'm the Grim Reaper when it comes to hiring. Yes, I look all Midwest and nice, but I'm tough when it comes to my numbers and my team and whatnot. But I started off with just hiring a showing agent. And then, I think we're talk about that later. Sorry, I don't want to jump ahead of myself. But my team did the last year. I'm a non-competing broker now, so I fizzled out of sales. But we did nearly 30 million, which I know doesn't sound a lot in this area. But when I sold, the average house price was about 170,000. So a lot of units, very busy. Right now we're about 220,000 average house price. So very, very busy.
$220,000 sale price. Could you imagine trying to do $30 million in volume with that average sale price? That's a lot of units. So you definitely have to have systems and structures to do that. Chop, how about you? Why don't you share with everybody a little bit about how your business looks? I know you run a team, sort of the numbers you've done. And one thing about you, I know you do both residential and commercial. So if you could just kind of share with everyone.
Sure. There's 11 members on our team. We have an interview tonight. We have a 7-step interview process, and the final interviews with my wife and I, with the prospective realtor and his significant other. So as of right now, I have my 4 pillars. I got Jen, who does our listings, Emily that does the buying, Ingrid does the open houses and special events. The special events are very important to us. And then we have Maureen, that's our ISA. She's from Long Island. And then there's myself and 5 other buyers agents. Oh, and then we have Xander, who's a senior at Don Bosco Prep. That's our intern. Last year we did 156 sides, 101 were residential. About 38 of them were commercial. We have Patrick that's on our team. He's running our commercial division. And then we did a lot of rentals. And our average sale price was about $489,000, just under 70 million.
And Chopper, how long were you an individual agent before you built the team?
Actually, my broker, may rest in peace, who told me to get legal and stuff because I was doing a big deal at Walgreens, Starbucks, and Columbia Savings Bank. They had me partner with somebody in the office, but like I was doing 98% of the work. So I guess I first started the team in around 2011 or so with an admin, and then grew from there. I have to tell you, I kissed a lot of toads before I had the princesses. A lot of it was my own fault. That's why we have like a 7-step interview process. But we've done over 1,200 transactions, and I've never put a listing in because the way I type, I'm of that era that boom, boom, boom. So I knew right away the leverage. For me to be, you guys do listings in 20 minutes. It would take me at least 3 hours. So I knew my limitations and I knew what my strengths were.
So last year I sold 52 units totaling 38 million. I don't have any buyer's agents or anything. I do have a virtual assistant. I say virtual, but she's a real person in the Philippines, and she's phenomenal. I probably hired her a bit too late because I was drowning in 2020 and 2021. I was drowning with like the back end paperwork that I think as a realtor, like we're so used to being in control that it's hard to think of giving up any of that. Like no one can put the listing in as good as me, and no one can write the description and this and that. No one can schedule my day as good as I can. And really what happened was I realized I was drowning and I couldn't get past those numbers that I wanted to, that I was already at, by taking on and continuing to do all the back end admin stuff that, let's be honest, doesn't make me any money. I need to be out meeting people and prospecting and showing homes and showing going on listing appointments. So hiring my VA has been like the best part of my business. So that's it. I pay about $4 an hour for the VA, so it's a great investment in your business. If anyone wants to know what company I use, she really is phenomenal. She really is great. You know, I was a little concerned being that she's not from New York, but she's great. She speaks well. She talks to everybody as I would talk to them, and yeah, she's just phenomenal. So great investment in your business.
Well, I think that's great because a lot of people sitting in this room probably already know what I'm going to say. But in my real estate career, I've scaled. I always looked at when I got the right person to help me. And it was never an expense in my eyes. It was an investment because I always got a return on that help. I'm the same way. I don't know how to put a listing in. I didn't know how to write a contract, but I knew how to be in front of people, and I knew how to have really good dialogue and be able to convert those leads. Everything else I just got off my plate from day one because it was a train wreck. I wrote contracts that were just train wrecks, and I was okay with that. So that's one of the things we've done too. We built out our concierge team that can help run agents' businesses at a high level, so they're able to go out and be in front of more buyers and sellers. Because I think a lot of people don't hit that next level in the business because they get so tied down with the administrative part that they never flourish to the next level. So I really appreciate you guys sharing that, because it just seems to be a common theme and common trait when you're trying to go and you're trying to grow bigger. Olivier?
Yeah. So I want to ask, what's been your greatest success in real estate? Like, what's something that's really moved the needle for you in real estate? Nicole, you want to start off?
Sure. Video, which I know no one wants to hear, or some people don't want to hear it. But when I first started and I was with Douglas Elliman, they had excellent training. I actually almost recommend everyone sort of starts there, except unless you're with Carl's office, because I know you do great training. But they have excellent corporate training. And there was a teacher that I just gravitated towards. He was very invested in social media. It was really before anybody was really doing video. And I was petrified. He gave me the best advice ever. He told me, record your video, post it, and never look at it again. Of course, that's easier said than done. I would like examine my hair and how my voice sounded. I have a little crooked tooth. I would be like, oh my God, you saw the tooth. Like, I was just so, if you saw my videos from when I started, they were horrendous. It doesn't even look like me. They're horrendous. But they worked. Even then they worked. Now I'm much more comfortable in front of the camera. Video has been an enormous source of my business. Still, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It sounds silly. And I was actually talking with Anna about this before. There's agents in my market who are decent producers, and they'll post things like, your TikToks look stupid. I'm like, okay. I posted a TikTok the other day with a soundbite, a silly soundbite, a caption that said, sellers, we seriously have 0 houses on the market. You know, if you're thinking about selling, you might want to call me. And guess what? Someone called me. I sold them the house 5 years ago. So video is, I would say, the most important piece of my business.
How much business do you get from video in relation to your entire business?
I would say that that's kind of hard to measure, because I think social media is hard to measure the return, right? Because I'm constantly posting. I'm posting stories. I just never want anyone to forget I'm in real estate. So I'm on an inspection. I'm here. I'm showing whatever. And I always sprinkle in my family, my dogs, because let's be honest, people only think about real estate every 5 to 10 years. So I don't want to bore them to death with real estate. I want them to stay on my page, stay following me, and stay connected with me by showing I love pizza, I love dogs, I love my family. So I sprinkle in life stuff. I think it's hard to measure how much I get from it, but just this morning I got a buyer lead from it, you know, and like, I don't know which post it was that made them want to tell their friend to call me to buy a house. So it's hard to measure, but I would say at least 2 leads a week off of Facebook and Instagram.
Chopper?
Oh, sorry.
Well, originally my best thing was every door direct mail, because I did it when it first came out about 12, 13 years ago. And that built up my base. But we're into social media all the time. I'll do a daily reflection. I do a series. I have like over 15,000 contacts in my phone. So I started a video series about a year and a half ago called I Know Somebody for That. So I'll go to I get calls all the time. I mean, you'd be amazed. People ask me. And I just go to the local storekeepers or the guy that details my car, the guy that repairs the houses. And I just interview them. I don't say anything about me. I just say I got a lot of phone numbers. And then I post it all over all social media. And then I give it to them that they can use on their own social media. But listen, if you look at my videos, I do them after I work out. I'm Shanghai. My wife's yelling at me all the time how terrible I look. But you know what? Be natural. Be you. I mean, I went to Marquette University and we finally won the Big East tournament after 18 years. And I went to 230 games. I'm posting from there. You know, I'm not posting, you know how some people are on Facebook and stuff, but you need to be on all the platforms, Instagram and Google Business. That's a freebie. All these things are free. All right. Everything you do with social media is free. You just got to do it and do it consistently. You can do a video that you were here. It helps. So one of the big things that we do is we give back to the community. We're very involved. I know you are. I do a thing called Choptoberfest because in my town we don't have we have volunteer ambulance, volunteer fire, and I bring in all the 501c. And it's one-stop shopping because we're involved in a lot of different things. Like our team, we got Remax Citizenship Award a couple of years ago. And then I got from the congressman, hometown hero. But I do that stuff because I like it. I've had people call me, oh, I'm going to do that. It's good for business. If you're not, listen, you don't do it for business. You do it because you want to be part of the community, But all those things add up. What you give out comes back to you, Yeah. Was I too long?
No, this is not the Oscars. We're not going to play music and end your conversation. But I've been in Bergen County with Chopper, and all the community stuff has added up. We were in front of a house, and about 3 people walked by, and Chopper. So he's built a presence in his community because of these community involvements and the different events you put on. So I commend you because I witnessed it firsthand, where you're the unofficial mayor of the town because you're involved. So keep doing what you're doing. It's great. Anna?
I'm going to piggyback off what she said. I had a celebrity crush years ago, Josh Flagg. And so I'm going to quote what he said. But in all seriousness, he said, not everyone has the luxury of having a reality show, but we all have the luxury of being our own local celebrities. And that's true. With social media, we have this platform. There should be no reason why, I repeat that, no reason why you should not walk into a restaurant in your area, community center, and they don't know your name. And there's studies that prove that the average person, if we were to go take a walk outside in the road, can only come up with 3 real estate agents' names. That's it. And you guys probably have hundreds of thousands of people in this area that are real estate agents. And the reason why is recognition. So I piggyback off that. A few things were really successful for me. Do you want me to go into? Okay, you cut me off. I do also have a whole thing that I can't do today, but I do teach a whole class. I can forward it to you about how to grow your business with little or no investment off a lot of things. I'll be more than happy to share it with you guys later. But social media was the number one. We do community videos. Same thing what they say, be authentic. I was telling Nicole, next time someone says anything, no, don't be mean like this, but in all seriousness, say, yeah, you know what? Why laugh all the way to the bank with that video? So don't worry about it. People remember when they're saying negative things about you, they have an issue with themselves. It's not you. So keep on doing it. Be authentic, and you're going to attract the people that you want to attract. Social media definitely was number one. We do community videos, business highlights. I go live all the time. People love lives, and people love lives when I've tripped, I've fallen. Oh, well, people like that. It's just you're you and you're authentic. One thing I definitely want to recommend though is start tracking your numbers, know your ROI. And that was one thing that I hired a business coach to help me with when I started the brokerage or the team is, it's not just, oh, I made X amount of money. Really no dollar for dollar. I can tell you, I pulled my books out from when I sold last, and on Facebook, I made $11 ROI. Not $11, but for every dollar I spent, I got $11 back on Facebook. I would go to Vegas all day long with those numbers. So it's super, super important because for instance, realtor.com at the time made me money. But when I looked at all my numbers tracking, Zillow made me more money. So then I'm going to take all that money out and put it into something else. So if you guys don't know the formula, let me know, or you can connect with me later. Truly know your business plan and how to track your ROI for your money. But video. Sorry, did I go too long?
No, I love that. And one thing that we've been preaching over the last 6 months, and I'm going to say this, and a lot of you are going to be sick again hearing it, but we talk about the 3 things you need to be doing in this market. And one of the 3 things is you need to be out in front on social media. You need to be more visible now than ever, because a lot of agents are going into fight or flight mode. And some of the agents in this room might be hearing this saying they're not sure which mode they're in right now, but we have to be in fight mode. So what happens is the market shifts. All these agents that were social media superstars have gone quiet. So you need to be out more visible, getting more eyeballs, and doing more of that to be winning in this market. So Anna, I just want to unpack a little bit. You talked about you got $11 for every dollar you spent on Facebook. What exactly were you doing to spend that money on Facebook? Kind of walk people through that strategy, because one thing we want is we want agents to be able to leave today with like really actionable things they can implement in their business walking out.
So yeah, I'll give you a lot of different things. Facebook was the videos, lives, and I would just boost them. The other thing that you want to do, especially in your area, is I would only do about a 10-mile radius. That's it. So I think the number one problem, well, maybe with you guys, maybe a 19-mile radius. I'm just trying to think of your demographics, but you really just want to hone in. A lot of things what people do with advertising and marketing is if they have $100 to spend, they're, picking 4 spots to put that money. It's better to put all that money into your area. And again, just dominate your town, dominate your area, and then expand. So don't go too far. So especially with such a larger demographic, I would probably do that. But I boosted my live videos all the time. And I do, if you guys follow me on Facebook, it's raw, it's real. I probably have people unfollow me because I post so much. But it's even a live video with my dog, walking the dog, and like, oh my gosh, look at the dog park. Oh, look at the animals. Whatever you want. It doesn't have to be real estate even. And then plug in that last 10 seconds. My daughter used to do videos for me, and my catch line was Selling Ohio before Selling Sunset became popular. But literally it was this, everyone knows Selling Ohio, Selling Ohio, Selling Ohio, like come up with that thing, at the end. I would do a whole video, has nothing to do with real estate. And at the end, buying or selling, make sure to call me, Selling Ohio, See, I said that a lot of times, but you're getting that following. So definitely boost every single post, do live videos, do a 10-mile radius. The other thing that works really well for our area, and I think it would work well for you too, I'm going to go old school with you guys. Do handwritten cards. I'm not talking about handwritten letters. I'm talking about go get stationery, make it real pretty, buy a sticker on it. Who gets mail anymore? No one, right? My director of operations, I sent her child a postcard. She didn't even know what a postcard was. She's 15. I'm like, oh my gosh, because no one gets mail anymore. People are going to open it. They go north, you go south. Completely different. You have to be apart from the rest. So sending out handwritten cards, even if you do 10 a day, you're someone in your neighborhood sold their home. This could have affected the value of your home. I'm going to repeat that. This could have affected the value of your home. You're causing a action call because they want to know, what is it bad? Is it good? Everyone else is sold. I can sell your house for this much. So definitely, I'll stop talking. Sorry. They have, I have a whole bunch, but yeah, that's probably a couple of things I'm just throw out there for you guys that definitely work.
Thank you. I love that. And it's easy to do, right? And it doesn't have to cost a lot of money, and especially with the boosting of Facebook. I mean, we've used that strategy a lot, and it's been really effective. So Chopper, talk to me a little bit, Chop. All right, Chop, let's break it down. What are you doing for a part of your unique value proposition as an agent? And what are you doing for lead gen besides the video? Talk a little bit about your EDDM and some of the other things you've done to do $70 million in production, your referral system. Kind of unpack a little bit for that for everyone here.
So when I market on the EDDM, I don't put on there that we sold a zillion houses. I'll do the ladies auxiliary fire department's pancake breakfast. We're doing the townwide cleanup. We'll do all the different events in town, and then we'll have a little tag about us. But that's what we've always done from the beginning, because everybody does, listed and sold, and we do that. But we're big on a personal touch. We always capture people's birthdays, and we send them birthday cards that go off of the handwritten notes. And we'll you know, listen, I know a lot of times that some of the agents we deal with are adversarial. We'll still send them a thank you and looking forward to working with them going forward. But our whole shtick is always about the community. It just evolved like that. I did it because I didn't want to waste the time to come up with ideas of marketing. Seriously. No, I'm telling you. You know, and the guy from the ambulance is like, we need new members. All right. So we put it out on a flyer. We need new members for the ambulance, you know, and now we have a whole set routine. We got everybody's emails. You know, I run the carnival in town, so I got all the 501c contacts anyway. And it's all about building up a community, you know. It's funny. Everybody knows my dog, and I'll meet people and I'll talk to them, and they're like, "Can I have your card?" And I'll give them the card. "Oh, that's you. I love the dog." I said, "Yeah, I'm chopped liver," you know. But you know, it's repetition, and like you said, the 3 agents, you want to be on top of mind. But the EDDM for me worked out good. Now remember, the EDDM, you can just do a postal route. Okay, the most you can do in a day is 5,000. The least you can do is 150. You could just do your neighborhood. It's inexpensive to do. I mean, it used to be 11.5 cents. Now they, the post office is 19.5 cents. But I'm sorry. Every door direct mail is from the United States Postal Service. It's very easy to do. You can do it. You can do it all. Set it up online. All right. Yeah. When I first did it, I had to teach all the postal guys how it worked because I had no idea. But it's been very effective, and it's great because I was the first one. So when other realtors do it, they'll be like, "Oh, you see, they copied you." I said, "Yeah, they copied me. It's good."
Chopper, quick question. How many events do you do a year, and what is the average cost of your events?
And Chopper, I'm going to pass this back to you too, because one thing you do is, and I don't think you even give yourself enough credit for it, is you generate a ton of referrals, and you do events for vendors. You do events that you leverage with your past clients. I've been to one of your vendor events, so I can speak on it. So kind of, speak on that as well, because that generates you a lot of business as well.
So we have a vendor event every 2 years. We bring in all, the key vendors, be it the attorney and our friends, our mastermind friends, and, the guy that gets me the tents and the guy that gets me the bouncy castles, all that. I think there's about 60 or 70 of us. So we like to give back, because I don't want to take them for granted. But again, I have a one-strike policy. When I recommend these different vendors, I'm giving the most valuable asset in my life, my name and my reputation. So they screw up, they're out. So, all I want from them is to treat my clients like I do, like friends and family. Be respectful, do the job you promised to do, and do it on a timely basis. And then I mentioned before, we have 3 major events per year. We have that Choptoberfest, which will be our 9th one, where I have the one-stop shopping for nonprofits. It runs about $12,000. So our event planner, Ingrid, spearheads it. She took it over for me. She does a great job because I'm a guy, and it was half-assed. But anyway, but it was good. But then we had the bouncy castles, and I had the video trailer. I love Elvis. Elvis was my first concert I saw when I was 11 years old at the Garden. So I had an Elvis impersonator, and then we have food and things like that. The other event that we just started is we bought a mountain, we like to say, just for a day, Plattekill Mountain. We leased the mountain, and we brought like 200 people to go for a day of skiing. It's part of our VIP program. I have to tell you, I've stumbled, I've fallen, I've screwed up, and I've gotten better than when I was here 5-6 years ago. And also I got smarter. I got married to a beautiful woman in that time, Ingrid, who's with us. But we do the ski mountain event for all our clients. And it's worked out well. And then the other event we do is we try to change the theme. Last year was Texas barbecue. This year will be Hawaiian luau. And it's just a feel good thing, and we're always giving back, and we want to stay, in front of everybody. And each one of these events run on average about $12,000.
So what do you do? So if I was your past client, how do you sort of follow up with your database to invite them to these events?
We send out postcards directly. There's a special mailing list, our VIP mailing list. We'll send emails, we'll text them, and then we'll call them, And you know what? It's a good thing. Like you know, we went into the beginning of this year. It was a little Shangad. So I told everybody, don't freak out. Call them to invite them to go skiing. It's going to naturally come out to talk about real estate. You know, when you invite these people for something good, you know, just talk to them, have them come. And every time we do this, people are like, oh, I want you to call my cousin or I want you to sell my house. So, I mean, listen, 12,000, you could probably do it for less. I do it at the local Knights of Columbus. I got my tent guy, and you know, a lot of people I deal with the nonprofit stuff. I know, so it's easy to set up, you know.
No, it's great because if you're doing 3 events a year and you're reaching out to them 3 or 4 times, you're now touching your database 12 to 15 times with, hey, I don't want something. You're saying, I want to give you something. And in return, people are naturally going to return that, you know. And I think a lot of people struggle with following up with their past clients because they have nothing to say or they have no conversation. I haven't talked to this person since I sold them a house 4 years ago. So what am I going to say? And I think this is such an easy way to revigorate the conversation.
And remember, like when I was in furniture and like I'm now in real estate, the word free is one of the most powerful words. All right. Now I have a lot of friends that are cops, and, you know, I always say to them, free, can I have 3? You know, so, but that's, you know, it's a free event and it's a feel good event. It doesn't have to be as grandiose as mine. You know what I mean? Just have a little barbecue, invite 20, 30 people. You know, you want to stay first of mind. Remember how many people know other people. Look how many people know each other on Facebook and what have you.
Nicole, how about you? So you've scaled your business pretty quick in about 4 or 5 years, up to the 38 million. You know, you're doing the video and social media. What else are you doing for lead generation, value proposition that helped you scale so quick?
So I do client events as well. Every year I throw an annual client appreciation party. And like Chopper said, I mean, the whole flyer is like free food, free drinks, free raffle. I have my real estate attorney, my title guy, and my mortgage guy, and my home inspector all donate to that event. So they'll donate one of the raffle prizes. I mean, we've given out TVs, we've given out sound bars. So it's like a great touch for my clients. I want to say thank you. I want to give you the opportunity to win something, and it's free. And like Carl just said, it opens up that conversation. I also do apple pie for Thanksgiving. So we have a Santa come. I invite all my clients, bring your children, take your Christmas photos, come pick up a pie. Love it. And literally every time, like Chop just said, when people leave, it's like, you know what? My boyfriend, my friend, my cousin was just talking about selling or buying. I'm going to give them your number. So I do at least those 2 events every year. I do quarterly drop-offs to my clients, which has gotten a little crazy because the list is long. So it's a lot of planning. I actually just looked into Client Giant because they automate it for you. They send out quarterly gifts 4 times a year to however many clients you want. Costs about $100 a client. So, you know, I'm going to put my top 50 or 100 people in there. And now I don't have to think about it anymore, because that's what happens is like these things become, you're planning and coordinating and dropping off. So it gets a little much. So now I'm getting to the point of like systemizing these things. But the quarterly drop-offs are awesome because it doesn't, I used to just leave it on their porch and it would be tailored to the season. So whatever I came up with, that's what it would be. And it doesn't say, hi, do you have a referral for me? It's just like, happy winter, thinking of you with my name. That's it. I'm never asking for business. And that has gotten me a great return as well. And I did just start more traditional lead gen. Just again, we're here, right? Because the market's changing. So what does that look like for me too? I did just sign up for Boomtown. It just started actually March 1st. And I will tell you, for very little ad spend, I'm sharing the cost with my mortgage guy. For very little ad spend, we started March 1st. We have 15 leads in there already. They have an awesome concierge service that's touching on these people all the time. 3 of them have homes to sell. So we'll see how it pans out, but that's something I'm excited to explore. I've never done traditional lead gen. It's always been referral based. So this is new to me. So we'll see how it pans out.
So we have a lot of different levels of agents in the audience. And what advice would you give for the emerging agent who's getting started and might not have all the past sales to do the client advice, or even an agent who feels like they're a little stuck in the business with the shift of the market. What advice would you give for lead gen to kind of get going for those agents?
I mean, I want it to be free for you, right? Because if you're new or just feeling a little bit stuck, you don't want to spend a ton of money. So what I did early on, and I actually still do. So I used to be a pizza girl for about 10 years, all through high school and college. And then even after that, I would like moonlight at the pizzeria. I just loved being the pizza girl. So I share a lot about my love of pizza. And I started a series called, Long Island, Nicole, something favorite pizzerias, where I'm like, hey, where do you live? My favorite pizzeria in Comac is today. And then I go into the pizzeria. So now I'm highlighting the business. I'm eating pizza. I'm not saying a peep about real estate. I'm just there. I'm supporting a local business. And actually, when I was in Vegas, I was shocked. Some random lady came up to me and was like, "You're the pizza girl." So that's what she connected with me on. So I love dogs too. I love that all three of us are like crazy dog people. I have three. He has one. He has three. She has one or two, right? Three. We all have three dogs. I love that. So I share my dogs a ton because like people want to connect with people that have similar interests with you. So if you're feeling like a little stuck, go find your local business people. Talk to your HVAC guy, your moving guy, put them on camera. Now you're getting double exposure. It's not only your social, but it's their social media. So people who trust them are going to trust you because they trust you. So connect with people in the community, your local businesses, share yourself and honestly, don't ask for business. It will come by just being yourself, being genuine and putting yourself out there.
It's like the Gary V jab, jab, jab hook. If you never read that book, it's all about value, 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 then ask for the sale. We were talking about this in an office meeting yesterday, and that's great. It's just being visible. Anna, how about you? For emerging agent feels like they're a little bit stuck, what would you suggest they do right now?
So I have about 100 things, but for lack of time, no. One thing I'm going to share with you is when I first started sales and educational sales, one of my directors was an Army or a military recruiter. So I was blessed to learn sales from him. But one thing that he did literally when I was in the office, he would be like, get out now. And you are not allowed to come back to the office until you give out 10 of your business cards. And not only give out 10 of your business cards, but you're going to get names in return. And that is something that stuck with me. That's a way of getting, if you do that 5 days a week, 200 names to your database. So there's no excuse that no one has a database. I'm brand new. When I go to a restaurant, make sure I tip well, but talk to the server. Talk to the server, leave your card. When you're going to the grocery store, I talk to everyone. The driver last night, God bless him, poor thing. I mean, he's stuck in a car with me for an hour. But talk. And then I converted my business cards to magnets. Everyone likes magnets. They won't throw it away. So that is one quick, fast way. If I give you one thing to do that's cheap, easy, fast, and put those people in your database. Now they're on your email. The other thing I wanted to touch base on is neglected buyer syndrome. Have you guys ever heard of that? No one? Oh, I'm going to introduce no Pop-Tart today. We'll do neglected buyer syndrome today. Check with your broker, make sure your state. But what I tell my buyers agents who want more listings, once that house is sold, it's now that client's house. So 2 things, ask to put your sign in their yard, because a lot of times agents become lazy and they don't put pending or sold. So what happens is the house has been on the market, the sign's there for like 30 days, 45 days. All of a sudden the house closes with your buyer. Now you're putting your sign in there, says sold. Looks pretty impressive. All those neighbors are gonna be around like, wow, man, she had the house for 24 hours and it sold. You're just asking permission to do that. Every single client you have, once it closes, you are legally allowed, in Ohio you are, to contact that client. Because the number one thing is, how many times have you guys, it's happened to me, I'm going to admit it, you drive by somewhere on a house that you sold a couple years ago and they use a different agent. It's because shame on us, we didn't do our job following up, right? So the opposite client automatically gets included on everything that I do too, because neglected buyer syndrome. And it's just a way of getting free business. You're not taking from anyone else. You're just, again, after the sale is closed, you're including them on those events and whatnot.
Going back a little bit to what Nicole mentioned, being the pizza girl, I just realized there's a common thread with the three of you. And Carl mentioned this: visibility beats ability, right? They're very visible online and in their communities, but you all have built a brand outside of just being a realtor. right? That's the common thread. In the sea of agents, your job is to stand out. There's 66,000 agents in New Jersey. So you're known as the pizza girl. Chopper's known for, you know, your dog. Anna's selling Ohio before it was selling Sunset. But you built your brands, which is pretty awesome because you guys were really visible. And that's what's helped you grow and become part of your community and generate business that way. That's awesome. Chopper, what about you?
Listen, it's all about connections. You need to reach out to people. You need to touch them. You know, this whole social media thing is free. You know, go online. You know, when I was in the furniture business, I'm going to show my age. The greatest designer was Kodak. All right, they all copied each other. We do the same thing here. What's Ferry say? The 3 R's: rip off, rinse, and repeat. Listen, half this stuff I didn't create. I got it from coming to masterminds and watching. Grab what you like. I got a woman, her last name is Russo also. She's doing great on Instagram. You know, she's copying me. I'm copying her. I could care less. I think she told them she was one of my ex-wives one day. I don't know. So, I mean, you know, I'm like, yeah, no, she's not on the list. So, you know, there's a lot of opportunity there. You know, please, especially with social media, forget what you look like. Just do it. There's only one you. You're not going to be this one or that one, you know, and it's inexpensive. You just got to make the first step to do it, you know. Yeah, the sky's falling. Don't listen to those idiots on TV. You know what's going on in your marketplace. All right. We lost 100,000 agents, which is good. We need another 250 to be done by July, you know. No, seriously. I mean, because our numbers today, sales-wise, are equal to 2012, and there were only 1 million agents. Last year, there was 1.6. We're down to 1.5. You know, you got to do something better. You got to stand out. And look, nobody created anything. You steal from Gary V, from this one, that one, and there's so much free stuff out there. If you like what she's doing with pizza, be the pizza person, and, you know, wherever, you know. Whatever you like to do. I do a daily inspiration thing from a Rolodex. It's got rust on it, okay? It's like 30 years old. I shot it today. I was in the bathroom at the hotel, you know? Well, you couldn't, I don't know if you could tell the brackets, you know, but other times I'm like, you know, don't care about what you look. Just get out there, be yourself. There's only one you, all right? Reach out to people. Remember, they're clients, not customers. You don't want referrals. You want to be introduced. I'd be very proud if you'd introduce me to a friend or family member. Get away from that referral and customer. That means money. Client and introduction is more personable. And never say you're sorry. Always say, I apologize. Right, baby? I always say I apologize. Because if you say you're sorry, that implies you're guilty.
No, listen, I love it. And before we move forward, I want to take a second. Really what I want to go into next is follow-up, because you could generate all the leads in the world, but if you don't have a follow-up system, it's all for nothing, because the gold's with the follow-up. So, but before we do that, Jason, if you come up and grab a mic, we want to see, does anyone have any questions about lead gen or anything we covered so far with the panelists? I want to take a quick second for a little Q&A. If so, just raise your hand. I know the panelists are more than happy to share. Oh, Tina, again in my next section of questions here. So let's go into it. All right. So the question was, what databases are you using for your follow-up?
I don't know if you guys want to hear this, but I'm old school with it. My entire database. I mean, I do have it in a CRM, but I still like Excel and like the old spreadsheet things. But I'm a boomer, so my age, I'm just a little bit older. I'm sure there's more sophisticated. I would say to that question, find something that works for you on how you're organized. Everyone's different. If it's a physical calendar, if it's a Rolodex, if a tickler file, or whatever the terminology is. For me, everything's in a CRM just so it's backed up and like in the cloud and whatnot. But I like Excel spreadsheets for my database. That's just me. Right now, I'm using Remax, right? KV Core. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just my plugin for Remax. I'm just kidding. No boosh. No, I have Follow Up Boss. That just works for me. But let me go back though to tell you guys, I I am a non-competing broker, so I'm not actively selling. So my database is a little bit different than probably what you guys are doing. When I sold, I did like 5 Street, Boomtown, all of those big ones. Follow Up Boss for me works for what I need to do right now.
Well, we have our own VIP list, so we hit them about 18 to 22 times a year. But as far as the CRM, we're using conversion. We're going to look to see the conversion versus KV Core, what the benefits are, because I know that Remax is paying for that now. Well, it's free. It's for me. I'll take 3.
I currently use LineDesk, but actually I also like Excel spreadsheets. So I have a Google sheet with my VA, and every time something closes, she enters the information in there for me, what side we sold, and all the client information. So I have a sales spreadsheet that I share with her. Any other just like open house leads or wherever else they come from, they all go in LineDesk. But I'm going to switch probably to KV Core as well.
I had a quick question for Nicole. You mentioned something about Client Giant that does it 4 times a year. Is that the proper name for it?
Yeah. So it's called Client Giant. And if you want, I'll share the contact of the sales rep that I've been communicating with, but you can check out their website. I mean, it's really awesome. They'll send you a sample of all the gifts that they send out throughout the year. Like you'll see last year's gifts. They change every single year. They're tailored to the season. They come with a little handwritten note from you. And yeah, there's different package levels as well. You don't have to spend that much. You could spend more or less, but it's great. You don't have to think about it, set it, forget it. They're getting a gift.
And it was $100 per client.
That's I think the middle package is $100 a client. You can go a little less, you can go a little more, for the whole year for them to get 4 gifts. And I will say, I love the way that they send them out, because like I would do it like first day of spring, first day of summer, first day of winter. I would do it on that day. They actually wait about 3 weeks because they're probably already getting other stuff from, maybe not realtors, but other like promotional things. So they wait a couple of weeks. So it's like a really nice surprise. So yeah, I would definitely check it out. Yeah, better not be other realtors.
Good morning. This message is for Nicole. You spoke of a lead gen, and I couldn't catch the name of the lead gen.
So it's called Boomtown. And it is pretty awesome so far. Like I just started, like I said, March 1st, we launched. They will create you a personal website that almost acts like a Zillow. So it's a house searching website, but obviously it's branded to you. It has all your information on it. And they do the lead capture themselves. And then there's also a CRM attached to it. So they automatically go into that CRM, and they have an amazing concierge that's reaching out to that potential buyer or seller constantly to engage them. It's not a bot, which is that was my biggest concern. I didn't want it to be like sound robotish. It's a real person. So it does sound like they're talking to a real person. It's more personal. And yeah, it's been wonderful, and it's really comprehensive. So I suggest at least doing a training with them, seeing how you like it. Ask your mortgage guy to kick in with you, share the cost, or girl, I should say, mortgage guy or girl. Ask them to kick in with you and share the cost. It's been great so far.
And my next question for you as well, Nicole, was your virtual assistant. Would you care to share that information on how you locate it?
Yes, I will. When we're done, I'll get you the name of the company where we got her from. They were great. They allowed you to interview 3 candidates, and you choose who you like. If you didn't like any, I guess you could, request to interview 3 more. But yes, I will share it with you. I don't know it off the top of my head.
We have one more.
Good morning, guys. Charlie
Charlie LaRue, good morning. Thank you. Thank you, Carl, for putting this on. Thank you guys for all your knowledge that you're sharing. My question was in regards to boosting your post and spending ad spend. Do you guys notice a difference in the amount you're spending in reference to all the different platforms? If you're spending 100 and you're getting a certain value out of it and you spend 1,000, are you seeing that multiply in that amount?
Well, each post gets responded to differently. You know, we have a certain set dollar amount. You know, it's nice, like with Instagram, you could just do $5 a day. You know, you decide. You know, if one post is doing better than another, yeah, we might go back to that and push it out again.
I would definitely track it for your area. Tracking is really important. I absolutely despise math, but it's so important in your business. So, and if you don't like that, then definitely like do a VA or someone that will track it for you. But I don't recommend, I don't think it's necessary to spend like $1,000 on a boosted post. You can even, like Chopper was saying, there's sometimes I'll just do $25 or $35 on a post. Because then people will share it and especially if you do a smaller, I think my advice to you is do a smaller mileage radius. So you're capturing more people. I hope that helped.
We're going to do one more question, and then we have a couple more questions, and we'll leave a little time at the end for Q&A.
Hi, thanks guys for coming and sharing your knowledge as well. Do any of you use predictive analytics systems for getting sellers, getting those leads?
I think like the First app and the Smart Zip, anything like that. Chopper, I know you've used the First app with your team. Could you explain a little bit about that and what the First app is?
So First app, Remax bought it. And basically what it has done, it's analyzed millions upon millions of transactions and people's behavior. You know, maybe if they're searching something on Home Depot and then they're looking at this or that, they give you a star basis from 1 to 4. So based on their actions compared to zillions of other people, if they're a 4-star, they're more than likely to be looking to buy or sell a home. And it's been pretty good. You know, unfortunately, sometimes you get the 4-star and you call them like, oh, I already listed my house. I'm like, damn, but it works. But it's like anything else. You just got to follow up on it, So what you do is you take your database and you put it into the First app and it'll show you. And then some mornings it's terrible because it'll say, you lost this one. They already listed their house. So, but it's good. It's good. You have to put time and effort into it. It's like anything else we do. Look, everybody has one thing in common. We all have 24 hours in the day. It's how you use it. How do you utilize it? How do you leverage your time? And there's a lot of things you could do that are free.
So I have a funny story. Right when I started my team, I had a coach and I recommend coaching highly. That is, you want to talk about investment, get a coach. Definitely get a coach. And you have an amazing broker right here that can definitely teach you. And I'm not just saying that. He didn't pay me and I'll tell you guys later about how I met Carl too. This is the knowledge he gives, but get a coach. But I remember saying, he's like, what's your goal for next year? I'm like, I'm going to double my numbers because, I'm going to take over the world. Right. And he's like, how are you going to get there? I'm like, well, I'm going to double my ad spend on Zillow. Why would you do that? Okay. What's your conversion rate? What I'm trying to say is instant gratification. We as humans want it now. We want the low hanging fruit. And I was coaching one of my agents last week, and he was talking about all these leads he had, and he doesn't have the money to spend. I'm like, well, what about all those leads you had? Sometimes the leads take 12 to 18 to 24 months to convert. Be on top of it. Be consistent. What I hate to see you guys do is spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. You have to put money into your business, but it's there if you work it. Like Chopper said, be consistent, have follow-up processes in place, and then they will convert. So don't just look for the low-hanging fruit, because those are the agents that we've lost, right? And, the agents that are going to be through this market, tough, good, bad, for those who have been doing so long, are the ones that have process and procedures in place. Because what you do today will affect what happens 30, 60, 90, 24 months from now.
And what I love about that is if you need some leads, a real easy thing is to pair up with an agent who has a ton of old leads that they're not doing anything with them, and say, hey, let me scrub these leads for you. And if I get anything out of it, I'll give you a percentage. It's a win-win for both, but there's always gold. And I know when I ran my team, when I was in production, is if you came on, you didn't get any new leads. Your goal was you had to work all the old leads and make something out of that before you would get the new leads. Because I want to see, number one, you're going to put the work in. Number two, you're going to put the effort in. And I also want to show all the other agents that, hey, you keep ignoring these old leads. This guy came in or this girl came in and she just got 3 deals from it. So shame on you, because you're looking for the next shiny object, good lead, when the gold is already here. So that's great. And that's what I want to really touch with the follow-up. So I appreciate you guys doing that. And a big thing too is when you start doing a lot of business is mindset, right? Talk to us a little bit about goal setting. What do you do in the beginning of the year with yourself individually, with your team, to set goals and monitor those goals throughout the year? Who would like to take it first?
Nicole, you want to start?
So I do a vision board. I actually do that with my whole office, though. We started it about 2 years ago. So for us, it's getting our agents on track and having them think about what they want their year to look like, but it also helps me. So it's like builds a little camaraderie, and then it helps me to get everything on paper and to see it. And it's sitting in my office. So I have, the number of people I want to help, what I want to donate to, all sorts of things, not just business. And then tracking throughout the year. I mean, that's where I kind of utilize my VA on our shared spreadsheet, where she's updating like where we are. Did we hit our numbers so far? How many closed this month? How many more did we put into contract? Like, are we on track to get to those numbers? So again, I can't stress enough, like having someone on the admin side to really help you, because that stuff will just weigh you down. So she just knows, it's automatic. We close something, put it in the spreadsheet today. Like, let's track our numbers. Something went into contract, put it in the spreadsheet today. So it's very easy for me to just log into that and look and see where I'm falling in line with what I hope to do this year or each year.
So we have a team meeting usually about 3 times a month, and then I try to do one-on-one with each team member. The one-on-ones are more about, how's life, how's the family, those kind of things. But we set up a goal each and every year, and we review it, like I said, three times a month, and we also put in perspective where we're at, where we were versus last year. One of our coaches, Wayne Frederick, that you guys turned me on to, always talked about Ritz-Carlton service. So outside of myself, and Patrick was 4 when he went to Ritz, no one on the team had been there. So I try to read at least 1 book a year with the team, and we do a review. So December 2020, we read the book and this and that. And I said, you guys did great. So I took them with their significant others for a weekend to the Ritz-Carlton in Central Park. And I made them make sure they use the bellhop and get room service just to get the whole feel of it, and so that's been our goal now. If they hit a certain goal, we're going to go 3 nights domestically anywhere in the continental United States, because no Hawaii. But if they hit the ultimate goal, then it's 4 nights anywhere in the world with the Ritz-Carlton. So the incentives are good, but we're always tracking our numbers,
Well, I love that, because there's things we can't control, right? We can't control what's happening with interest rates. We can't control what's happening with the economy, but we can control the experience that we're giving our clients. And people remember the experience, not what they pay. And I say that to the agents all the time. Like, do you want to be the Howard Johnson of customer experience, or do you want to be the Ritz-Carlton? Because when you're the Ritz-Carlton experience, you're going to get more referrals, right? So that's great. Anna, how about you?
Can I just add to that?
Of course.
And I hear this a lot. It's not what you said. It's not what you did. It's how you made that person feel that they'll always remember.
I love it. How about you, Anna?
I want to come work for you. He's amazing. How do you follow that? So in the Midwest, we call it the Disney experience. So farm girl here, not the Ritz experience, but no, I like the Ritz. I'm gonna start using that. Goals. I am a huge manifestation person. I really am. I really think that what you put out there can become. Mindset is an amazing thing, even scientifically, not just from a holistic side point. 2 books I'm going to have you guys read. One is a 12-week year. Anyone read the 12-week year yet? Just a few hands. Okay. Go get that immediately. Okay, go get that immediately. 12-week year. It's an amazing book and will help you with your goal setting. And the other book is called E-Myth Factor. Anyone read E-Myth? Okay, a few hands. So go grab that book too. So 2 great books. But for goals, I won't talk about the books. Go ahead and read them because again, I can talk for an hour on this. I have weekly, monthly, 3-year, 5-year. I don't know how my husband is still with me because I am very annoying with things like that. But it really does work. Vision boards, I write them down, and I honestly have something that I do every day, just like someone would have whatever kind of prayer or gratitude. I always start my day and end my day with gratitude, meditation, and affirmations. So whatever my goals are, I always affirm them to myself. And it's always that I already have them. So might not work for everyone, but for me it does. And then when I started, I kind of did what Nicole did as far as the salary. I saved enough money to have my first year salary before I quit corporate America. But I tell my agents this all the time. It's like a running joke. You know, I say Pathway makes great money. Anna does not. And what I mean by that is, yes, I make money, obviously, but don't spend your commission checks. Pay yourself a salary. You know, you guys have to remember then for the rainy days, you'll be okay. So discover what salary you want for yourself. When your commission check comes in, pay your bills, put your advertising fee back, and the rest goes into like a business account. And, you know, have your business make the money. That way, when it is maybe slow times, you guys have that. So that's maybe a good goal for you to set too financially. And basically make sure that when you're working with your goals, listen to yourself and just set short-term, long-term.
No, that's great. Thank you. And, you know, we'll start with you, Nicole, because you had the microphone, so you can take it. But as your business grows and you get busier, a lot of times I say agents become firefighters, because what your day is you're just putting out fires. You don't get a chance to work on the business because you're just so entrenched in the business. Talk a little bit as your business is growing, like kind of what your normal day looks like, week looks like, and how you just stay optimistic.
Okay. That's been hard. Yeah, because you do get to that place where you're just kind of like flying by the seat of your pants and everything's going and something's falling apart and something's great. So, you know, and as agents, I don't know if you guys are office people or not. Our office, no one comes to my office. It's very quiet. You know, people work from home or what, I don't know if they're even working, let's be honest. And I got like kind of stuck into that too, where I'm like, I could do this at home. I have the laptop, you know, so I actually, this year I started out, I go to the office almost every single day because that helps me stay and get organized. Again, I have 3 dogs at home and it's super easy to be home and be like working on something and then like, I'm going to do laundry. Like, I'm going to let the dog out. I'm going to clean the kitchen. Like, it's really easy to get distracted. So for me, I have found that going to the office almost every single day has helped me stay focused. You know, I have a running to-do list. I check on all my clients, all my deals, where they're at. Check on business I've been working on. So, you know, my thing with follow-up is, when I go on a listing appointment, I don't send a thank you card. I send cookies with a handwritten thank you card. So just like a little extra, like, you know, hoping to make this transition as sweet as possible for you, whatever it is. So my follow-up during the week is a lot of, again, video, sending people videos. It was so nice to meet you. Thank you for having me in your home. I think a little more personal. They get to see my face, see my personality. So I do that, you know, at least once a week with follow-up with people I've had listing appointments with or buyers. You know, maybe there haven't been a lot of houses coming to market. I don't know about by you, but we are bare bones. So you know how it is when you haven't talked to a buyer in a week and like, you're like, I have nothing to show you. So I'll send a video like, hey guys, just want you to know my eyes are still on the market. You know, I'm checking every single day. I'm hoping to see more stuff soon. Hope you're great. So
Nicole, how are you sending the videos?
I use BombBomb if it's longer, but sometimes I just send it as a regular text video. Yeah. And then I make sure that my clients are getting hit. Like I have a video for each step of the process. So you went to contract, video, congratulations, here's what's next. You had an appraisal, congratulations, here's what's next. Your inspection, whatever. Each step of the process, I have one for buyers, one for sellers. So making sure they're getting those. And again, utilizing my admin, you know, on the back end stuff just to keep me somewhat organized. And I do have a girl in my office who asked me to mentor her in exchange for like just helping me out if I'm double booked. And she's awesome. She's so organized. So we have a weekly or bi-weekly meeting, depending on our schedules, where we just hit like, okay, here's what you wanted to do this week. Here's what's still on the list. And we just knock it out.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. I have a follow-up question to that, because I'm sure it happens to everyone where there's no inventory, they're on an auto email alert and nothing comes, and 2 weeks later you haven't talked to them, or 3 weeks later, and I'm sure that's when they start making other inquiries because they think you forgot. So when you're sending these videos, are they personalized, like, hey John, it's me, Nicole, or are you just doing a, hey, it's me, Nicole, and I haven't found anything new, my eyes are still on there, and are you sending that to everyone or just the ones that you're personalizing?
So I always personalize my videos. The only ones that aren't are the contract process videos, because that would take forever if I had to make it every time someone had an inspection or an appraisal or whatever. But the buyer and seller follow-up that I do, they are totally personal. Hi, Carol, it was so awesome being in your home, or whatever. Or on the buy side too. And I actually don't do auto emails anymore. I used to, and I found that my buyers were getting a bunch of crap that didn't work for them. And it was like, why did you send me this one? It has no garage and I wanted the garage. You know, our filters kind of stink on our MLS. So it's crazy because it takes a lot of time, but I personally get the emails and sift through them. And then I add the houses that will work for my buyer to an app that I use called Collab, which is a home sharing app through our MLS. So I do that, but those videos that I'm sending, if there's nothing to share, which there's been nothing to share, they're all personalized. I just want you to know I'm still looking. Here's how many houses hit the market last week in those townships you like. You know, hopefully we'll see more soon. So they're all personal. Oh, sorry.
So we wake up in the morning, do some training, then I do my sweaty videos, and then I hit the phones. Hopefully get out by 12 to get to the office. You know, it's some days I'll be in there longer, you know, reaching out to the team, reaching out to clients. You know, I like what you do, because we do the similar thing. Like I shot a bunch of bombs, and then my hair was a lot darker and it was about 40 pounds heavier, but we still send them out during the whole process, you know, and they're great. And like you said, you do the bomb once and forget it. You could do each process on the sales side and each process on the buy side. We backed it up with text and a whole checklist for our clients, you know, and we keep changing it because crazy things happen in every, you know, we learn something new in every transaction. And then, you know, the afternoon is what is running around with the team and doing other things. You know, the only thing that's consistent is the workout and the sweaty videos. You know, I do 3 masterminds a week, you know, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So, you know, that darn phone kills you. You know, that's another thing. You got to turn that off once in a while. My wife and I do a date night on Wednesday nights, no phone, you know, which she appreciates.
Well, you shut the, what I like too is that you said that you get in and you make the calls in the morning, because, you know, we have to be making calls. We have to be prospecting. We have to be sending videos. We have to be following up. If you just get it done in the morning, then you get it done. But it's like kind of like going to the gym. Like I always say, if I don't go in the morning, I'm saying I'm going to go later. I walk back in my house with my gym bag, right? It's like get the tough, difficult stuff out of your way so you could keep moving forward.
And if I'm charging my phone by 11:30, that's a good morning.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
part of that? What part of the question? Sorry. Which one?
Just tell us a little bit about like how you structure your day,
Okay.
week.
So I have, for me, I'm a visual person. So I have a full desk calendar and my entire month is already planned out. When I tell you I'm very OCD, it's a blessing and a curse, but it keeps you on track. So I will know, especially with selling, like on Monday, I'm going to go to XYZ coffee shop. On Tuesday, I'm going to do this. On Wednesday, I'm going to do this. So make sure to prospect every day and set it up like an appointment. That way you don't miss it. Just like you wouldn't miss a doctor's appointment or anything, you're committing to yourself. So treat yourself as your boss. So definitely prospecting is part of it every day, networking. And then do not do anything that is not dollar producing. So I'm going to say it and I'm not going to call anyone out, but if anyone in this room right now is still installing their signs, stop it. Stop. step right now. You can go hire a college kid to do it. Okay. That time that you take to do that. So do not fill your day with non-dollar producing activities. Give everything away, even from grocery delivery. I know that sounds crazy and it might sound scary because it costs money, but the money that you're spending on doing these tasks are costing you money. You're not an admin. You are not a sign installer. You are not a photographer. You're in sales. So fill your day with that.
No, that's great advice. So Anna, wrapping up a little bit before we get into a little bit more Q&A, is there anything that you feel like you want to share that we haven't shared and asked? And also, where are you heading towards the future with the market? What adjustments are you making?
I'm going to look at my notes. I did write down some things so I won't forget. And you guys are more than welcome to contact me, follow me on social media. I really, really love being able to serve in any way that I can. I've had a lot of great people that have helped me in life. And if I can give any piece of advice, I definitely would love to. So if there's anything else you want to touch on later, couple things that I recommend doing. Definitely hospitality. I think that's shown through the Disney, through the Ritz-Carlton. Even when I hire an admin, my number one quality is they have to be hospitable. So just remember, we're hospitality client based. Give yourself, I don't think one thing that we didn't discuss, yes, you want to work hard, but also give yourself grace and give yourself some self-care time too. Don't get burned out. Set boundaries. You know, no other industry is like ours to where we feel we have to, and I know, Nicole, you were talking about this earlier, we have to answer our phone at 10, 11 o'clock. We train people how to treat us. So we do want to work hard every single day, but there has to be boundaries set in place because then people won't respect you anyway. So make sure to set boundaries, self-care, and really just be as extremely hospitable, you know, customer service, social media, like we talked about. Remember, there's no such thing as an emergency. If there is, then call 911. Answering your phone at 11 o'clock for a seller to tell you their hot water tank went out. Are you a plumber? You know, I mean, I'm being serious, you know, I mean, you can't handle that. So guys, again, spend time on things that really matter and it will all come together.
Great. Chopper, how about you? Anything that we didn't cover they want to talk about and sort of what you're doing with the market and adjustments you're making for you and the team?
I have to agree. You have to take time for yourself. You got to turn that damn phone off. I know it's our lifeline, but it's also the one that's going to end our lives. You know, you got to give priority to yourself. You know, what's really important, you know, if you're doing your job and doing your work and you set up the expectations, these knuckleheads won't call you at 10, 11 o'clock. I mean, I remember my mom, when she rest in peace, she was in, you know, in a care unit. And I got a call 1:30 thinking it was about her. And some idiots called me about a house. I said, I F-bombed them. Okay. So, you know, you got to put up your barriers, you know. Listen, to me, compared to selling furniture, this ain't work. I really enjoy this. This is a lot of fun. Yeah, there's some bad days and good days, but that's life. There's bad people and good people. But, you know, don't get discouraged. I mean, I see people that went from 0 to 100. You can do it, you know. Stay away from the water cooler. If you have a water cooler in your office,
We do have a water cooler.
stay
Chopper.
stay away from there. You don't hear.
I will now
anything.
remove the water cooler.
All right, but I want Carl and Olivier to come up and open up in Bergen County because I'd love to have you guys up there. You know, no, seriously, they're not only friends, but I admire them. I look up to them. I've learned a lot of things from them. I love how they run their business. I met a lot of different RE/MAX people because I go to all the conferences and stuff. These guys are cutting edge. You know, I'm dying for them to come up to Bergen and Passaic County. It would be great. We were this close to doing it, but it's a geographical situation. Our most recent broker, we couldn't work out a deal, so she went to drink Kool-Aid, and we stayed with RE/MAX, and we got a nice little efficient home office up in Oakland, New Jersey.
Well,
So-
Chopper, it's been a pleasure to watch you grow. You know, from your team went. In case anyone doesn't know, too, Chopper doesn't let his team go to the awards unless they do Diamond, which is $1 million or above in commissions. So that's one of the goals that he sets for his team. So we've been seeing Chopper there a lot lately at the awards, and I know we'll continue to, no matter what the market looks like.
God willing, we got to put the work in.
Nicole, how about you? Anything that you want to share that we might not have covered, and sort of what adjustments you're making as the market's been shifting?
So, first and foremost, I know this is hard because we're in sales and it's all about numbers and like how many did you close or how many did you put in contract. But for your clients, this is not about numbers and it's not a transaction. This is a life moment. And I think when you start to realize that this is an extremely emotional process for them, unless it's an investor, they don't care. It's all about money. But for most people, this is an extremely emotional process. It's the biggest purchase they'll ever make, or the biggest sale they'll ever make, or their mom died and they have to sell that home, or they're getting divorced. So I think when you start to look at this more as a life moment and how you can be a part of that life moment, not as a transaction, that translates with your clients. And that's what makes them feel like you really have their back and you're not just a salesperson. I actually hate that I have to put on my business card, licensed real estate salesperson, because I don't look at this as that. I look at this as I'm walking through a life moment with these people. And when I share things on social media, I don't share like just sold, who's next. I tell a story about that family, whatever they went through, and it's pictures of them, and maybe there's a picture of them in front of the house. But I think that, you know, like where we are, like Anna just said, like this is a hospitality industry. Like we are responsible for making these people feel supported through one of the biggest moves of their life. So if I can give you one thing, it's stop looking at it as a number and like this is just another deal. Like this is a person and you're helping them on probably one of the biggest steps of life. And as far as what I'm doing this year to kind of like to go along with the shifting market is implementing more traditional forms of marketing like Boomtown, starting to do some expireds and things like that, which really isn't in my nature. But I'm working that into my business plan because I want to do at least what I did last year and better. So with the way the market's shifting, I'm just trying out some new things that aren't totally my comfort level, but we'll see how they work out.
That's awesome. Thank you. And it's great to hear that a lot of it in common thread is back to basics because it's a people business. And we tend to forget that and we chase transactions, to your point. But this is all about people. If it were just transactionally, technology would solve it. We're never going to go out of business because the consumers need us as the people. So if you look and approach your business that way, that, hey, this is a relationship. No one's a past client. They're a client that I'm working for, as every seller was once a buyer. So stop calling them past clients, right? And work on the relationships. That's why they do events. That's why they invite people out, do these quarterly things. But it's a relationship business. And it's great to hear that across the board, you guys are all doing the same. And that's how you're pivoting and adding to it new things in your business. That's awesome. So we will open it up to some Q&A. Does anyone have a question? Raise a hand. Not all at once. Courtney?
Thank you. I have a, can you hear me? Oh, there you go. Okay. I have a question for you, Chopper, more so for the commercial aspect. This will be my second year in commercial. Do you have any advice for transitioning from residential? Not that I'm completely Xing it out, but I'm like full force commercial. So that, as well as, do you think my marketing should be different because it is two different arenas?
Well, Remax requires you to be different, like the signage and your business card and things like that. Commercial's a long play. We had a closing in November. What was last year? 2022. That we listed in 2015. It bounced back and forth, and it wound up to be part of a builder's remedy that we finally disposed of it to the town. I love commercial. The numbers are big, but it's a long-term play. I got Patrick running that. We're getting him out of residential if we hire that gentleman tonight. But commercial's a lot of fun. You know, it's less emotion. You know, it's more or less Monday through Friday. But there's some, that's another thing no one touches about, because I know the Kool-Aid kids talk about their teaching and they could kiss my butt on that. You got Remax University. There is so much good stuff on there. I mean, you just got to apply yourself. the VIG you pay to LLC, it's covering all this education, and this stuff is good. They got a lot of good stuff in commercial, but commercial's a long play. The numbers are great. I mean, you got a check for 450,000. You're doing the happy dance and high fiving, but I got that $450,000 check, 9 years on that property. All right, so that's why we've always mixed the resi with that. Like, and we sell businesses too. If anybody gets into selling businesses, be forewarned. That is the wild, wild west. Okay. I think it's everybody from Hudson County's in that business. Okay. So it's like, you count your fingers after you shake a person's hand that's a business broker. We've sold a lot of businesses. And by the way, a little stealth marketing. I like to eat, but I've sold a lot of restaurants and delis. So I have like the Chopper breakfast wrap, the Chopper tuna melt, the Chopper cheeseburger. It's like 18 ounces of meat, and a few other things. I want to be a full menu before I die. Listen, the burger, you need like 2 Lipitors if you put that down. I mean, forget, it's like this big. That's a good idea. We'll do that. Commercial's great. It's a long play. It's a long play. I don't discourage you. Just have to, Yeah, 101. Yeah. I got it written down. Commercial transactions, there were 24, and then 2 businesses. All right. I had 27. So you can do a little bit. Yeah. And it's very common. Remax commercials like 13th in the world, and they're getting better at it. Look, if you get good at it, try to be the key person in your office, because these guys don't want you to whack their E&O. I mean, you can't be doing commercial and you have no idea about a triple net lease versus a gross modified, the 400 amp service, 3-phase. You got to know all that stuff, and there's more to it. But a lot of it, anything you're going to do here, be it residential, commercial, it's in Remax University. It's there. You're already paying for it, and it's good. And if they don't have what you want, you can send a question to them, and they'll help you out.
And I think with the commercial too, it's really important to have a good commercial team, like an attorney that really knows commercial real estate, a lender that really knows commercial lending, because the lending space is different. The attorney's process is much different. Having experience in commercials, really having that good team around you. Any other questions? Thank you.
So this isn't really real estate related, but what is your morning routine if you do have one?
Oh, I love a morning routine. And I forgot to, I wanted to say something too, and I'll come back to your question, but just remember, guys, keep in mind that you're seeing the shiny side of us. I guarantee all of us have fallen, struggled. I was a single mom at one time, so we've all been there. So comparison is the thief of all joy. So don't compare yourself. Do what you can, and just work hard, put in every day, and it's going to come to you. We're all individually different. And just one quote before I get to your question. I love quotes too, so I gotta give you guys at least one quote. But the secret to living well is not in having all the answers, but pursuing unanswerable questions in good company. And that's what you guys are doing today. So keep coming to these classes. Morning routine. Another book for you, Miracle Morning. Anyone read Miracle Morning? Okay. Don't start your morning off by doing work that puts you in a bad mood. You're not good for yourself. You're not good for your spouse. You're not good for your partner, kids, whatever, your dog. So I always give myself at least 30 minutes. I prefer an hour of just myself time. And if that means that I have to wake up an hour earlier than everyone else, I will. Start your morning with positivity. If you want, I have my own system in place, but mine's definitely gratitude, meditation, exercise, reading, scribing, no social media, no news, nothing but positivity. You can have coffee, eat, drink, socialize, but really set yourself up for positivity. I'm all about, that's 90% of the battle, honestly, is your attitude. And remember, gratitude and attitude are a choice.
Yeah, like I said before, wake up, relax a little bit, and then work out, and then do my sweaty videos and the masterminds and stuff like that. Yeah, you got to see, like, my hair is all,
My routine is basically coffee, spend a little time with my dogs, and I should probably take a page out of Anna's book. But I can't help myself. I'm always on social right away, coming up with ideas for the day, emails. I can't help myself. So my day starts a little bit crazy. It's just coffee, dogs, work, Instagram.
Hey there. I don't really need that. Does anyone suggest for new people on the team, like Harris Schools or Kevin Ward, the book yes, something someone can start with, so they're not just out riding in the car with you, something that helps them move along a little bit?
I talk quite a lot too. I'm more than happy to share things with you as far as processes with brand new agents and teams. But yeah, I definitely recommend doing more one-on-one. Don't just give them a book, and set up process and procedures that work for you and your team. I mean, books are great, but I recommend them riding with you, doing house inspections, home inspections. I wouldn't say that for you guys do that. I mean, legally, I know you probably have to have someone there, but you can hire someone to do that. But at first, they should be on someone's hip. Like, they need to learn the ins and outs. When I started off, I was doing investors that were buying $10,000, $20,000 homes. That's how they learn. So if you want, I can email you all the information.
All right, everybody. So that's about all the time we have we have one more question. Okay.
Thank you for coming down. One question for all three of you. How or where do you find content for your videos?
Well, I'm going to start stealing from her, and I'm going to start stealing from her. Yeah. No, just rip it off. Like, I do KCM videos, okay? I pay for it. The problem I just found out is I'm reading the script, so it's messing up my SEO. But you go ahead and you read the KCM scripts, and then she puts in her own words. There's content all over the place. You know what's a good tip? Put your town in, East Brunswick, New Jersey, and underneath on Google, questions that people asked related. The 5 questions, there's some content right there. Will the Scarlet Knights ever win again? And you could talk about that. Hey, thanks to me, you got Mike Teal, the record-setting quarterback. All right, that's my guy from Bosco. We encouraged him to come down here. We don't have football at Marquette, so I could say all that kind of stuff. The whole world's out there. There's so much stuff that you can get. Like, go to Remax University. Look at some of those topics. Grab it from that. Convince yourself. Learn this stuff. You become the expert. You can talk about anything. How you peel garlic or whatever. I do a gardening stuff, and I fight with the chipmunks, and anyway.
Yeah, so I tell all new agents, and this is what I did in the beginning, is subscribe to Keeping Current Matters because they have great content. Chopper, again, we spoke about this last night. I don't like the scripted stuff. For me, it's just not natural, but I'll read maybe 5 articles, and whichever one I like, I will just make a video about that, 30 seconds or less, just in my own words. So that's a really easy place to start because you don't have to really go very far. They're going to email you something every single day that you can just use and put it in your own words. Also, I think, stories are huge on Instagram. They're becoming even bigger than like reels or just static posts. So stories are great for like short content. Hey guys, I'm at an inspection right now. What goes on? And 20 seconds, 30 seconds, you just say what you're doing. So, as you're going through your day, post, share what you're doing, little things. And I think if you start posting content on things that you love and care about, that'll just come naturally to you. Like for me, rating pizza, easy. For me, like petting a dog, easy. Those are easy things for me to do content on that aren't real estate related. Because again, I find that it's important that you mix in both so people don't tune you out. I'm actually probably unpopular opinion, but I'm totally against a business page that you only share real estate stuff. I get way more business from my personal page that has real estate sprinkled in.
I'm so glad that she said that. So that's another thing too is, you know, people will like your page but unfollow it. So you need to pull all the stuff on your personal page too. And if your law is required to be on our business page and share from your business page to your personal page. But like the two of them said, and I just told Nicole this morning, we met this morning at the hotel. I was like, you know what I love about it is start befriending people from other states because they're not your competition. All of my agents, all of you guys, you know, my content is not going to be repeated. Your content's not going to be repeated. You know, don't reinvent the wheel. So there's tons of content out there. And then another thing I recommend doing is a brainstorm. Just write a list of things, who you are, what you want to be, what your passions are, and start doing things based on that. You know, a community corner, we do that once a week, or, you know, we try to once a week or every other week about what's going on in your community. You know, 5 recipes for St. Patty's Day, dips to try doing Super Bowl. I'm just giving you a couple right now. Write them down. I'm just kidding. No, in all seriousness, though, just the content take from other people, but also what's passionate about you, what's going on in your community. It can be recipes, it can be cooking, it can be dogs, it can be my daughter's doing one right now on dog parks that she loves to visit, and so anything like that.
And I just want to add, that was a great question with the content. Keep in mind, guys, your database and your network is different than the person to the left and right of you. So if someone shares something and you think it's a great idea, repurpose it. As they said, they're going to, you know, copy off each other. It's a different database. And I know it's tricky because the first 500 friends are all realtors, right? Right. But think about it. Your audience that you're really targeting, your database is different than theirs. So they didn't hear that message from John or Mary next to you. So repurpose it. Don't be afraid.
So if you got anything out of today, let's hear a round of applause for our panelists. So we said it was going to be from 10 to 12, and we respect everybody's time. So we're pretty much 12 o'clock on the dot. Some of our panelists have a flight to catch, so hopefully it's easier to catch today than it was yesterday. We appreciate everybody taking their time. Hope you guys have things to plug into your business, and keep an eye out for our next event. Thanks again, everybody.
Thank you.